Well, I've not done much of this before, but guess what? I've started playing my Commodore 64s, one of my early computers. This one's dead, and I've done what I think I could do to fix it. I did get it working at one point, and it ran for about a minute and then went dead again. I was looking at buying a logic probe to see what was going on in these chips to try and diagnose the problem, and they're about £20. But then I found this. It's a kit. It was a UK kit. I think this was about £4, something like that, which isn't at all bad for something bought in the UK. That included delivery. This is a logic probe. I thought, well, I may as well get one of these and do a kit and build it. So let's see what's in the kit. Oh, interestingly, the instructions are in a little QR code there. So there are the instructions, quite detailed instructions. It's really nice. Explains the reason behind it. It shows the circuit, tells you how to make it. It's got a link to various instructions on how to solder as well. So pretty cool. Well, let's open it and have a look and see what we get in the kit. So we've got a IC, and always nice to have a socket with it. Some wires. We've got the board itself, quite a nice little board, nicely made. Wonder if that's made with JLPCB. And I think it's 5 resistors. Yeah, 5 resistors, a couple of caps, 3 different LEDs, and this thing, a little pogo pin connector. They're really cool. I like them. It's going to be fun to try and solder that on the board. Let's see how that goes. But anyway, so how will we go about building this? Well, I'm just going to build it. It's not going to be that hard, is it? Let's see what it says. Construction. So soldering the pogo pin. Well, that's it. Construction. It doesn't particularly tell you anything. Doesn't say how to particularly put it together, what order to go to. Not really, but yeah. Oh well, let's just start. As usual, if I'm doing this, let's bring my little component tester in. Hopefully the battery's still working. That I'll leave the instructions just off to the side there, and let's start. So let's start with the resistors, always the best fun. So I'll just pick a resistor. I've got 4 resistors on here. Oh no, there's several. Yeah, 5 resistors, as I said. 3 of them are the same. So 3 of them are brown, black, reds. So let me just check those. That's a brown, black, red. That one's got green in it, so it's not that one. So that one's got green in it as well. Hopefully these are all the same, and they should be, yeah, they are, and they should be 1 kilo ohm. So let's see if I've got batteries in here. Let's see whether what this says. It's a resistor and about 1k, so that's fine. Okay, so I'll do those first. Let's put the others out of the way. And that's R1, R4 and R5. So R1. In we go. R1, R4 and R5 next to each other. So let's just bend those first. Quite tight these resistors are, so I have to bend it close to the body. R4 and R5 there. R4 and R5. 2.2 should be 2 reds, that's that one, and 4.7 should be purple and yellow. Okay, so let's do the 2.2 first. 2.2 is R3. In you go. And then that leaves the last one, 4.7, that's R2. I'm just going to try that, just the hell of it. That should be 4.7. Four and a half, yeah. Okay. So that'll be R2. Thank you, Mitch Electronics. Now, hopefully I can get my, well, let's do this properly. Let's get a little bit of helping, oops, a little bit of helping hands. And a little bit of solder. Right, so let's just solder these. In fact, I'm going to use the solder sucker and be quiet while I'm just soldering these. Okay, pretty simple stuff. So now let's do, in fact, I'm going to put this on first. Keys at that end. Let's just pop those on there. Won't use the helping hands for this bit. I do need something to stop it falling down. I'll just do the ends and make sure it's pushed in first. Looks okay. I've gone off, since I've started playing with the Commodore 64, I've gone off bending the pins over, if I can help it, because I enjoy having to unsolder things. So if you don't bend the pins over, it's easier. Right, let's do these quickly then. Okay. Let's just see this right. These are 100, these capacitors. So let's try that. 100 UF microfarad. That's 70. Well, that's pretty low tolerance. Let's just hope it doesn't matter. What's this one do? Yeah, about the same. 70. 104. It's the right number anyway. Let's just try that. I mean, it comes with a kit, so one assumes it's right, although one should never assume anything. It's probably something that just lives on the rails of some of the chips that are for a certain reason that I don't understand, because I'm not clever enough to understand that. Right, let's solder these on. This is a nice board. It's taking my solder well. I've not been having a great time with my soldering, and I think might just be that I've not had the iron hot enough. My old soldering iron was just well, I don't know what temperature it was, it's just always worked. This one I've had about, well, I don't know, but it's at 472 at the moment. I've put it up a little bit, so it seems to be soldering better, so maybe I didn't have it hot enough. Okay, so let's have a look at the others then. So the green lead is D2, so let's get the green lead. Positive is the long, so D2 is the long, and that goes in the round socket and not the square one, so that's D2. Then what's the red? The red is D3. Oh, so that's the other way around. Plus is on the other side for that one. And D1 must therefore be the yellow. D1, yeah, and that's the same orientation as the red one. Okay, so let's pop those over. I'm just going to do these one side first and make sure that they're level. Okay, in we go again. So that's it. And then I can get in. I'll do these as well, the other side. And let's pop these off. Oops. It actually suggests that I do use helping hands to put the pogo pin on, so let's do that now. Just to make sure that neither of them moves. Okay, so it looks like it just needs to go there. Let the tinkering begin. Okay, and for this lovely, I'm going to use a bit of flux. Okay. Right, that looks straight as far as I can see. And I'm using flux, so I'm going to put the sucker on for this again. Right, well that's just about right. Does the pushy in bit still work? Yeah, that's good. A little bit squiff. Ah, that'll do. Right. Probably bend that a little bit, to be honest. Yeah. Alright, now, what do we do about the wires then? So is there anything on here about the wires? So there's ground and positive at the back, so definitely back there. So in, so that's where the signal comes in, but that in is the same as that pin, so that's fine. That's the ground ref, which I need to use separately. So I'll probably put a longer lead on that, maybe. And then there's the two wires for the power supply. Okay, then I've got a bit more to play with if I'm using that. So the ground connector, let's do about that much for the ground. If I'm thinking about the Commodore 64 and I'm going to put a croc clip on the end of it, I need a decent amount. So that will be my ground reference one. Now this is quality wire. And then let's just do a little bit for the power, whatever the power is. Probably find I just need to do a 9-volt battery. I don't actually know what the power is. It doesn't mention it. Doesn't actually say. Well, I'll work that out when it gets to it. So let's just make sure I get the same length. A little bit shorter than the other one, so that'll do. Do you like my wire dispenser, my wire holders? I laser printed them, worked out how to do it, made them based on an old tape to tape reels, 456 reels. just for the retro's sake. So that's my ground one. Let's just sort these out. Not that these are going to get hot using silicon wire, but the silicon wire is nice to have any probes done with that. So as I've got the wire, I'd rather use it, as the wire that he sent was quite stiff. The wire he sent would have done. There's no problem with that really. Right, pop those through. I'm going to tin those first. Okay, I do think that flux sucker was a good investment. Alright, so all that remains then is to straighten that bit out a little bit, pop the chip in, making sure I do it the right way. Looks right. And now that is my logic probe complete. So hopefully I can use this to probe my Commodore 64 to my heart's desire. I'm not going to power this up now. I'm going to work out what the power is, and then I'll use it to maybe do another video of me rooting around the Commodore 64 circuit board to see what I can find. But thank you, Mitch Electronics 2018, for providing that kit. And now I will probe to my heart's content.